everybody, welcome to Review Time with Islip. I am Islip, and today I'm going to be reviewing the PC-06 and PC-07. Perfect effect, perfect combiner upgrades for the Combiner Wars Devastator. So, yeah. One set gets you a bunch of stuff for mostly combined mode. The other set gets you the guns and the wrists for the guns and the elbows for the bots with no elbows. So let's go ahead and start now. I have, for the most part, assembled the extra pieces on said bots. So let's just go ahead and start. We're going to go with one of my faves, Scrapper. He's more of a sentimental fave, I'll be honest with you, but yeah. With him, basically all you're doing is pulling these pieces off here and putting the new pieces on, which these are the new pieces. So it gives him elbows, which you can't really tell right now, but it does give him also a little bit of extra paint. So as you can see, it doesn't affect the transformation, the alt mode. Really, alt mode is still pretty much the same. For some reason, I can't get this one to line up properly, and I did before, and it's just not doing it. You also get a weapon, which you can plug onto the vehicle mode as such. I did this before. Why are you not working? Nope. I have done this before. There we go. You can plug it on there. It looks a little silly, but you can do that. You can also, if you want to, plug it on here, which looks silly as well, but considering that Scrapper comes with these wing blade things, which in this mode, true to the G1, is meant to plug in like so and like so to give you a flying thing. A gun on the side is no less ridiculous. So let's go ahead and get them transformed. We'll take those off. So the transformation is exactly the same. You're gonna bring this back, twist this down, flip it around, and then fold out the hands, and the hands have the extra articulation. Again, bring this closer. You're going to take this and get it to focus. Come on, focus. You're going to get it to focus. Okay. And you're going to straighten this out. You're going to rotate it around, and you're going to flip this out. And then adjust the hand accordingly. Now these are on mushroom pegs, and see, this slides out really easily. When you're sliding out the original piece that's there, it's really hard and very scary. Now this plastic doesn't feel super cheap, but it doesn't feel up to normal Hasbro standards. Well, I shouldn't say normal Hasbro standards, but you know what we consider Hasbro standards. It's a little less, but you can put it in there as a slight click. Sometimes when you're playing with it, it will pop out. Not a huge deal. And there you have Scrapper in his robot mode with elbows. Yay, he's got elbows. Now, it didn't bother me that he didn't have elbows, but I'm not going to lie, it is just a little bit better that he does have elbows. You can take the gun. They're all a tight fit, and squeeze it. It's making me lie. Well, I guess it's been sitting there for a little bit, but... And he's got his own weapon. And then if you want to, you can have him hold on to these, or if you want to plug him into his shoulders and make him look like a weird jump starter, you can. That works. So let's get him off to the side and move on to the next one. I want to try to do this as fast as possible because I don't know how long my camera records, but I think it only records for an hour. We'll go with this dude here, Scavenger, and in case you haven't been able to tell, I have traded out his old scoop for the new one. Let me see if I can get the old scoop out of the box. I should have did that first. Are you the... Yeah, you're the box with the scoop. Okay, there you are. Sorry about that. Okay, here is the old scoop. As you can see, very small. Articulates there, doesn't articulate there. But the one thing it does have over the new scoop is that this is painted silver, where this is not painted at all, the piston. Which kind of stinks. But not too bad. And the colors are really close. They're very, very close, even to the eye. This one is a slightly darker. I like ever so, like, blink and you'll miss it. Darker. But yeah, and again, it's on a mushroom peg. See? Now I've seen other reviewers who have, you know, they're playing with it and it pops off. Yeah, that did pop off, but it's not, as you can see, I'm holding it up, it's not prone to just popping off. Like rotating, see, even rotating it, it's not popping off. I'm not sure what I just did that made it want to pop off. Maybe I didn't have it in all the way, but see, it's in there. It pops off. You can make it pop off, but it doesn't just automatically pop off. So that said, let's get this out of the way. And you can see he has his gun already here. Those are the only two differences you get with this guy. Is you get a scoop, that new scoop, which articulates a lot better, and you get the little gun, which sits on his. Unfortunately, the Devastator pieces that make the forearms don't form into like these big things that you can stack on here and use as drills and, you know, whatever. I don't think they fit. Hold on. Before I go talking out my butthole. Is there a way to get there on? No, not really. No. Oh. What about you? No, there isn't. There isn't. It's not made that way, which that kind of stinks, but hey, it is what it is. So, yeah. And the transformation is exactly the same, for better or worse. Here you have Scrapper, whoops, in his robot mode. And as you can see, the scoop adds a little bit of weight to the back. Not too much when you have it compacted like this, but if you decide to do something like that, you're going to need to lean them forward. So you can use the scoop as a point of attack. See, it does do that. So you can do that if you wish. So he has an extra weapon. Why are you? There we go. Then you can take his little gun, and you can either adjust the camera so everybody can see what you're doing. You can plug it in like so. So he has a G1 pistol. It kind of looks really small when you compare it to Scrapper's. Or if you want to, you can, I believe, yes, you can plug it to this side of his arm. And he can use it like that as a weapon, or maybe you know how the Transformers, their wrists open up and they're making repairs and these things come out that they use to, you know, solder stuff together, I guess. Yeah. So let's get him out of the way. I probably should have transformed him. I should have started in robot mode because I need all the guys in their vehicle modes to do the do. Alright, here we go. With Hook. And Hook, he's okay. He still rolls, although the back wheel for some reason doesn't seem to be touching the ground. And as you can see, he's got extra bits here, whereas they would have just, I think they would have just gone across. But you can't do that because of this piece here. You can't have the arms locked out, because if you do, then he doesn't touch the ground. So it bends, you lift it up, you kind of got visible fists here. It is not a bad thing. It's not the end of the world because you probably won't notice it. And depending on how you have it on your shelf, if you have it this way, nobody will notice. You've got the hook, which of course goes up, and it's this is actually a new piece which lets you extend the hook, so you can do that. You still can't rotate it, and this thing still doesn't do anything, but hey, you've got the extra hook. So I just wish this thing would collapse inside more. I just wish there was a way to do that. You can take the gun. The gun has these square peg holes, and you can put them on any of these square points. You can put it up here or back here if you want to. Just put it right here, and you have weapon storage. I love that there's weapon storage in the vehicle mode. Like, all the parts that come with it, with the exception of the new head, has a place to go. The new head, we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, and I keep meaning to add some paint to this, but I need to get some, I guess, Gundam markers or something. But yeah, this is pretty cool. His transformation is still the same. And here we have him in his mop mode, and there is one issue right off the bat. Now the wrists, they're nice, but he already had these bendy things. He just didn't have rotating wrists, but he had bendy arms. And these look slightly better than ones that come stock, but slightly better. The problem is, though, his hook is so long, which is why I wish it could collapse more. His hook is so long that it's always sticking out. So whenever you have him standing, he ends up with basically a third leg, which not a huge problem, because normally you'll have them from the front, but if you're playing with them, and yeah, that'll probably get on your knives. I mean, I guess you can, if you want to put the shoulders up more, and then that'll let you do that, but then he has this big gap where that's supposed to be like this. So, but aside from that, you get the gun, and the gun does fit in his hands. And some of these are, it just went right in. I'm surprised. And when you want to change his forearms out, you're just going to pull them out right here. Pull them out, and that pops out. And it's really scary because the plastic does have a bit of flex to it, but it still just feels really scary because the other bits, like I think this comes, let's see, do you come out really easily? You don't. The other bits come out extremely hard. They are in there. They are fused. But otherwise, he looks good. He's got wrist. His arm doesn't rotate up here. There's no swivel, but yeah. And if you want to, you can make it look like somebody broke his arm. You can do that if you want to. That's totally up to you. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go on to the next dude. We have Bonecrusher, who again only gets a gun. That's the only thing he gets. It's different. Everybody else got an extra something, but he just gets a weapon, which again, it stores right here. You can just plug it into one of these screw holes. These little pegs are actually smaller than the normal peg, so you can just stick it in there and and whatever, you know, you've got play with it. So there he goes, and there is his weapon. So you didn't see half of that. Shoot. Oh well. There he is with his weapon, and looking spiffy. And I'll raise the camera up and get when I do the group shot. But yeah, he's pretty nice. I mean, it's really nice that I got his crotch piece to work. Then we're gonna go with this guy next. We have the guy who's hauling all the stuff, and he can still haul these bits here. If I can remember how I put them in there again. There. And excuse me, there. Okay, so he's got all the bits. The only he gets this gun here, and he gets these two fist pieces which plug into the dump truck's rear. So, I mean, that looks ridiculous, but he at the same time is all armed out. Let's raise the camera up now because he's a biggin. Let's move this back. So you can see he gets the Devastator hands, and these are the new ones. Let me get the old ones. Here we go. And I'll show off the hands again more in the other mode. But here's the missile pod for the old guy, which looks it still looks good. I mean, it could have used a little dab of paint here, but then you see the missile pods are there, and it's just a nicer presentation. And if you're like me and you don't like to waste any pieces, you can take these and plug them into these fist pieces in the back at an angle and really have this guy armed up to the teeth and beyond. So let's go ahead and do that because go in there. Oh, why aren't you going in there? Am I not getting you in the hole? Come on, you're a florist. You always get it in the hole. Okay. So then you really have them decked out with a bunch of stuff. So now these don't really, like, they plug out. Let's just take all this stuff off now. These don't fasten in very tightly. They just kind of, you see these rectangular pegs just fit into these rectangular holes, and it just rests there. It doesn't lock in, so they come out really easily. Not a huge deal for me because, you know, it still looks pretty darn cool, you know, all things considered, it being a dump truck with extra weapons and stuff. And I'm going to take all this stuff off because, hold on one second. Where did it go? There you are. Ouch. Okay. We took off all that stuff because we need to for the robot mode. I'm sorry for my camera moving around. I mean, I guess you could carry some of this stuff in robot mode, but not too much of it. These just kind of get sat down as little artillery things in robot mode. They don't really attach to any of the robots. I mean, I guess you could probably try to figure out how to do that, but you don't. If you don't want to, you can pull these off and put them to the side and then just plug this into the hand, or in the case of Scrapper, the shoulders of the whatchamacallit. You can also just do this. If you just want to have the guns without this extra piece, just take them off and okay, plug them in here, and then you have that. You can do that. That is totally up to you. If I have this guy in his mode like this, I have him with everything. So I'll take that off. Does my camera zoom out anymore? Probably not. Nope, I am as far out as possible. This is going to be, and you can see my microphone there, this is going to be a challenge because my arms are not that long. And why is this thing moving? Stop moving. Why are you moving? So here we go. He is in his robot mode. And what you're meant to do is you're meant to take these pieces that were on the back of them, and in them there are these bits that move. They're wiggly bits, and you go ahead and rotate the fist the right way. Then you take them and slide them over, and you're going to plug them into his hands. You're going to plug the little port things into his hands. He's the only one who gets new hands that aren't attached. They're not permanent. And voila. There you have him with his new arms, and they bend. They do. They don't really hold very much weight, and if you turn it around like this, they don't look like they're really bending. They look like he's holding on to them, but from this angle, they look okay. And you can, if you want to, stick the old weapons in them, which, yeah, unfortunately, the Hasbro joints aren't really strong enough to hold the extra weight. I guess their tolerance just enough to hold the weight of. I said tolerance like I knew that what that were. They were made. Whatever. It's friction, so it should have been ratchets, but I guess they weren't expecting to have extra weight. Oh, that actually it's the arm itself not holding the new arm piece, not holding up like it should. But you get new weapons, and oh, I mean, if you put it straight out, yeah. And what I like to, I'm waiting for somebody to make pieces that plug into the leg area, so you can give him longer legs, because you got this extra bit here. Let's see if I can. You got this extra bit here, and there's just potential that's not there, which would actually, like, or a perfect effect made it so that these things would plug in as feet. I mean, I don't know why they didn't think of that. Just have these plug in as, like, let's see if I can get this to work. Just to illustrate my point. Let's see. I just got to get them to balance. See, look. Now he's almost, I mean, he's straight leg, but he's almost a decent sized combiner. Let's take if they would have just did that. I mean, if you take Optimus and put him MP10 Optimus, now he's masterpiece scale. He's actually taller than Optimus with that, I mean, or even if they put pieces that went on the front to stabilize them, and you just left him like this, he is as tall as Optimus, and that looks much better than the way it is. What I do is, when I have the Constructicons in their robot modes, I have them standing around them, and then I just open up the feet, and I kind of rotate them a bit so they catch. And then with the other bots in front of him, you can't see his feet, so you don't really notice. Like, if you look, you can't see his feet now. And standing on your shelf, that looks much better. I mean, he's way bigger than the other ones, but he's already wider, so, and his name is Long Haul, not Wide Load. So, just something I just wanted to point out. So let's go ahead and take these guys out. And again, if you want to, you can, put the rocket pods in his hands if you decide you want to do that. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. The stuff gets combined like this and like this, and then you just set it down, and it's a rocket kablooey thing. Neat. And then you just got extra parts. Unless you're like me and you are neurotic and have to figure out how to get every single thing on every damn robot, which I do. But we're going to go ahead and take him out of the mix now. And we'll move on to the last guy. And I saved him for the last because he's, as far as the upgrades for the normal bots, his is actually, turned out actually to be my favorite. And his was like, I was like, it's just an afterthought. We've got, come here. We have got ourselves a Mixmaster. Now, he gets 2 upgrades. One, he gets these little arm pieces which plug in, and they look pretty nice. I mean, there's sort of a visible hand there, but if you look from the side, not really that much. But, you know, then there's the whole, this is the front of the truck, which people are like, they don't understand why this is the front of the truck. And if you see a lot of cement mixers now, they don't have the front of the truck here and the barrel facing away like they used to when I was a kid. They actually have the front of the truck underneath the barrel, which I don't understand. I would think if there was a malfunction with this and you're driving, having cement pour over the front of the truck would cause a problem. It would be a danger thingy. So, but anyway, you get him. You get a gun, of course. You get the arms, depending on whether you get both sets. You get his little gun. Then you get this piece here. Now, looking at pictures of this piece, it's like, okay, sorry about that. Sorry if there was a jump, but anyway, you've got this piece here, and it's got like this slidey thingy that turns inside and whatever. And what you need to do is, actually it goes like this, is you take this and you slide it over. You slide this piece in like that, and then it locks into place. And then you got this piece which slides on down, and now you have a classic looking truck. You know, granted there are 2 wheels in the front instead of in the back, but honestly, you probably aren't really going to notice that. And it rolls like it's supposed to, and it has these little notches so you can stick the gun in, so you can have him with his gun facing out like that. It's awesome. It is awesome. And then you can turn them to bot mode. To do that, it's really simple. You're going to take this piece and slide it on back. Actually, I think I'm trying to remember how to do this. Okay, flip this out. So you got to flip the head around. Whoops. Flip this back. And I guess if you want to, you can leave the covering. This would help better. You could leave the covering over like that if you want to. I guess you could do that. But I think you're meant to have this down like this and this like that. I think that's the way the instructions say to do it. We'll see in a second. There we go. Plug you in. Come on up. See, Daisy. Oh yeah, you got to do it that way because you can't see it hits against the thing, so it's got to be back here. So, in this mode, you do get a wobbly tripod for some reason. Why are you freaking wobbling? Thank you. You get the little back piece here, which it just adds to the back cable, but you've already got this big piece sticking out, so not a huge thing. You get the new forearms. Let's bring it in closer. New forearms. They look nice. They rotate there, and they also rotate at the fist. So you've got 2 points of roticulation. I'm not through. What the hell did I say that for? 2 points of articulation and rotation. So, and of course you get the little gun, which you can put in his hand. Ooh, that was hard. You can put it in his hand, or if you want to, you can store it in the hole here. That said, let's go on to combine mode. he honestly looks really, really beefy. I gotta move some stuff out the way. Let's this up a bit. And let's move this back. As you can see, now he is just a wee bit more beefy. Okay, good. My camera's still following me. So now you've got articulation up at the shoulders here, and it rotates there as well, and that's great and all. But problem is when you try to give him a weapon, turns out that Hasbro, I guess, didn't figure on other people making add-on pieces. So when you take the Devastator weapon, there's the other piece. When you take the Devastator weapon and you put it in any of the hands, it fits perfectly. He holds it great with his fists. I mean, but the problem is trying to get him to hold it up, because no, it's not made for that kind of weight. So let's see. Oh shoot, stepped on my mouse. Turn this way just a wee bit, and you can see, if I turn him this way, you can see that his arm is drooping at the elbow, and nothing I do fixes that. The only way to get him pointing straight is to, can't even do that, because after a certain point the ratchets won't hold. So the only way I've gotten him to hold the gun in any way almost satisfactory is to two-hand it, like so, which looks good. It looks good, but it's just a bit disappointing that everything is too heavy for him to do it one-handedly. But that does look good. Now, there is one more, and all the other stuff you can store on, like, let's see, this guy. You can put this back on. Where did it go? Did it go over here? You can put all the weapons on all the bots in some place so that it's stored and out of the way. And you can take these bits here and they will plug in back here. Just gotta remember which way works the best. Is it this way? I mean, they don't go on 100% like he has fists always sticking out of his butt, or his butt plate. No matter what you do, that always happens, and it is what it is. Yeah, so you do have storage for everything in super combined mode, like there's any other combined mode really. But there is one more thing you get. Pop this guy's head back into where it goes. You get this, whoops, focus. You get this really nice prowl head. It's actually a really great one. Really nice looking. And put it on Monsieur Devastator, like so. Come on, focus. Here we go. You do that, and because of my lights, it's a little bit too bright. Let's see if I can make a shadow. There we go. And now you can't see it because, okay, here we go. I just want to show off how good this thing looks. Come on, cameras. Here we go. So it looks really nice. It does. It looks good. It looks a bit out of place, seeing as all 6 members of the team are actually there. So you don't have Prowl actually as the whole top like he's supposed to be, and you don't have Hook where Scrapper's supposed to be because Scrapper died. Sad face. But they've got Scoop in his place. That was actually a really good... I was thinking of doing a Scoop repaint. But yeah, you take this piece and you just stick it over the head. Come on. You just stick it over the head like so. And there you have this really nice... Sorry. There you have this really nice new head, Prowl Devastator head, which it's nice. I wish they would have included, though. Honestly, I wish they would have included a regular Devastator head that looked just like this. I wouldn't mind keeping the Prowl plate. In the other modes, you really don't have a place to stick the Prowl plate. I mean, you can hide it somewhere on long haul, I guess, but it really doesn't do anything. It's the only piece that stays separately. Of course, aside from these fists. Oh, here's the fists. This is the original fists. Just articulation there. Looks good. New fists. Articulation everywhere. So if you want to get him looking like he's screaming up at the sky, you know, you can do that. For those of you who like the middle finger thing, very childish, very inappropriate, but you can do that if you want to as well. So, I mean, you can emote with the hands. And this head, honestly, is a lot better than the original head, just in that it has expression and it has a ball joint, so it looks up and down. See? It looks down, looks up, and wiggly, 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 wiggly. So yeah, that's both of the perfect combiner PC-06, PC-07 sets for Devastator. It's going to run you $32 for the one, and was it $49 or $59 for the other? The smaller set, the set with the, they come in the same size box, by the way. The set with the hands and with the arms and the guns, it was $32, and the set that had the big Devastator combiner pieces that fill them out like this was actually a lot more. But I mean, for me, it was worth it. If you have CW Devastator and you want to get a proper looking Mixmaster, and you know, a little more in your options for articulation and weaponry, this set is for you. If not, then I say skip it. I am Standing Islip, thanking you for joining me for this video. I hope you liked it. Ciao.